This is exactly right.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models,
including the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid.
Plus, there's the bold and stylish Elantra loaded with the latest tech.
Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 9.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.
Summer is for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
Their trained techs help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
Best part? You can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye.
Hello.
And welcome
to My Favorite Murder.
That is Georgia Hardstark.
That's Karen Kilgariff. And today we are so thrilled to announce Exactly Right's newest podcast, The Butterfly King. It's a World War II murder mystery, takes place in Bulgaria.
We polled the audience. We said, what do you want to hear about? You said Bulgaria. We're on it. And today, this very special episode, we are being joined by the two people who made this podcast. They're BBC journalists with a combined 60 years experience between the two of them. Please welcome the host of The Butterfly King, Becky Milligan, and her producer and a co-star of the podcast, EJ Kirby.
Yay.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes, thank you so much. Just to clarify, we're not 60.
No, exactly.
Nowhere near 60.
No.
Nearly.
We are 32.
Nearly 60, but not quite.
I was like, it's cool that you could just combine numbers now and sound more official. That can I do that with...
Yeah.
Can we do that?
We have over 16 years podcasting experience.
Right. Wow. Together.
Oh, no. My God. Well, yeah. We're just a bit older than you. That's all it is.
Although we look so good on it.
Yeah.
That's
exactly,
right.
Yeah.
Now, for us, it's 11 in the morning. But for you guys, it's nighttime, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and we have our cups of tea to keep awake.
Yes.
Because normally I'm in bed by this time.
Well, me too, actually.
It's 7:30. I'd usually be in bed with a book. Yeah, that's it.
Well, before we talk about The Butterfly King, we want to hear about your incredible journalism careers. You guys met doing that, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, oh God, it's a long time. I started off in papers and then moved to the BBC. I don't know about you, EJ. Did you go straight to the BBC?
One trick pony, just the BBC.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we took slightly different paths, but we knew of each other. So I was very much radio, BBC radio, and then a bit of TV with sort of documentary programs and so on. And I mean, I just did a lot of foreign news, a lot of politics, and investigative, really, I suppose, really sort of hunting out stories. I think both of us really had to come up with our own stories a lot, investigate them and then present them and then hope that you get a headline in the paper the next day. In those days, my job when I was in radio was to make sure every newspaper led on the story I was doing the next day, especially if it was politics. So I did quite a lot of politics and then foreign affairs. Went to, in 1999, my God, so long ago, went to Afghanistan. So it was the time when the Taliban were taking over and went a bit undercover and that was a bit scary at times.
What was the undercover work like?
Well, we weren't allowed to film, so we had to have little hidden cameras. And we were filming it all ourselves. And I went with a producer and a friend who was in this program called Newsnight at the BBC. So we were doing 2 programs, about 2 20-minute films, and we had to go in and we'd set up these interviews, and we had to go in secretly in this kind of over the Khyber Pass, I remember. And the key is not to be stopped by the Taliban at that time. And they'd sort of drive past with their Kalashnikovs, and you just have to sort of hide in the back of a van. And then arrive in Kabul. And there were moments. The worst moment, actually, we'd interviewed a lot of women. It was very much about women and the situation for women there under the Taliban. And it was really, really bad at the time. I mean, it is how it is now, really. Yeah. Actually, it's sort of so weird because it just feels exactly the same. And we had, as we left, we had to sort of cover ourselves. And we were with an Afghan man who did radio. So everyone knew his voice, but they didn't know what he looked like in Afghanistan. So we went to the airport to try and leave after 3 or 4 weeks, gathering material secretly. And the Taliban asked to search us. And we had all the interviews taped to underneath our clothes. We were really scared at that point because if they'd looked at the videos or they'd seen the tape of the women who talked to us, they could be in really big danger.
Yeah.
And so the guy we were with suddenly turned around and just exclaimed who he was, and everyone recognised his name. And then he just turned to us and said, "Run." So we ran to the sort of runway where there was an Oxfam plane. And we just ran and said, "Get us on."
Oh, my God.
It was really crazy.
Wait a second. Are you guys in the MI5? Is that also part of being with the
We
BBC?
are, both of us.
We
no, we're
couldn't
not supposed to say
possibly
that,
comment.
are we?
No, we can't comment
Full
on
spies.
that. Okay. I said we could tell you.
We're actually filming this. We've got this on tape.
But I did see some CIA people, I remember, because they were sort of hovering around. But anyway, first they said, "No, we can't take you on. We're too full." And then we just squeezed on. And we flew to Pakistan, actually, then. So we did manage to get out. It was a bit hairy. Yeah. You did some work, didn't you, in Afghanistan?
No, I did loads in Afghanistan. Yeah, I was a foreign correspondent. So for many years, I lived outside Britain, all over the place. And I was mainly doing death and disaster and misery, really. I did have a very nice nickname for many years as the Angel of Death, because any earthquake, plane crash, bombing, whatever.
EJ was there.
Rocked up. But I did lots of Afghanistan. I was embedded with French forces in Afghanistan, got shot at by the Taliban. So I went later than you. I went just after the fall of the Taliban. I was in, whenever it was, 2001 I went.
Yes, it's literally a couple of years later. Yeah.
And so I was embedded with French forces for a month. And yes, very exciting things, people taking helicopter rides with people gunning away out, It's all very strange, all very strange times, but fun times.
When you hear that that's an assignment you're about to get, is that kind of what you got into it for? Is that kind of what you love? Or are you stressed like anyone going, "Oh no, my job is really hard"?
I mean, I didn't get into it for that at all. And I'm really, really scared all the time in those, because I went also to Sierra Leone, and I went on my own on that one. It was just so frightening during the Civil War. So it's not something I looked to do, but I found stories. So it's a little bit different from EJ, because that was what her job was. Whereas I found a story and then I really regretted finding it, because, I just think, why did I do this? Why am I here? I remember someone saying, "Do you want to come down to the front line?" I said, "No, I'm under the bed. I'm in the hotel. I'm staying there." So I didn't enjoy it. So actually, after Sierra Leone and Afghanistan, I really turned to politics, because I had kids then, and I just didn't really want to go away so much. It was just one of those things that I just felt really inside. But I don't know what you feel about that.
I'm happiest on the road. I always have been. So I was just one of those people who had a suitcase under the bed, a suitcase, in the office. And when I was a Europe correspondent, I was in a different country 3 times a week. So it was, all the time for TV and for radio, doing all kinds of things. I made documentaries 44,000 feet over Moscow in zero gravity.
Yeah, what's the story? Zero gravity over Moscow?
It's like I think you have a vomit comet, don't you? The American space program. So it was the first time that the Russians had opened up the space program to tourism, and some reason I got chosen to go. I can't remember how. I won a lottery or something. I don't know. But I got chosen to go, and I'm possibly the worst person to do it, because if you zero gravity, I thought it would be like yogic flying, really quite gentle. But it's actually like being on a roller coaster, the worst fairground ride you've ever been on in your life.
Oh no!
And they took bets. The cosmonauts, they were all Russian cosmonauts who'd been on Mir. They had hair that was sort of at right angles to their heads. So they'd been up there too long. And they had a bet. I could see that money was passing hands. I don't speak Russian, so I didn't know what they were betting on. And then they said, do you like tennis? And I'm sick on a garden swing, so I was incredibly sick and these things. Yeah. But I obviously wasn't performing well enough, because the bet was on how much I was going to be sick. And somebody had bet, 37 times, and I only was up to 23. So they asked, did I like tennis? And I said, yeah, I quite like tennis. And they said, okay, next parabola. The parabola's the shape, the hill shape that you make when you're in zero gravity or going into zero gravity. They said, just hug your knees. So I said, what? How? I don't have a racket. And they said, just hug your knees. And of course, I was the ball.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
so yes,
no.
I performed 37 times. There was a very rich Russian cosmonaut, thanks to my vomit. Yeah.
How long did that flight last overall?
We had to come back early because my heart went a bit funny.
Oh no!
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
You'll do whatever it takes for a story, obviously. So can you tell us a little bit about how you found the story of the Butterfly King and what drew you to it, and all of the kind of backstory of you guys going, here we go, this is the new one we're working on?
So finding the story, it was during COVID, and my father died really sadly, and I was down at their house, and I was just looking through all his books, actually, and spending a bit of time there with my sisters. As I was looking through all his books and material and stuff, he had a very slender volume, which was called Hitler and the King by John Hall Spencer. And I just picked it up, flicked through it, and I thought, I don't know what this is. What's this story about? It just intrigued me. I had never heard of this story before. And I just thought that's quite unusual, particularly in that era, Second World War. We sort of feel like, we've been through those stories a lot, and we sort of know about them all. Mm-hmm. But it involved Bulgaria, which I knew very little about. I just thought it was a sort of communist bloc country that, there we are. But it was a country I didn't know much about. And then I'd seen that book, and then Blanchard House, this company which I had joined, we were sort of thinking about ideas. And so I sort of suggested it. Maybe we should investigate what this is about and see if we can find out more about it. And then enter EJ.
Yeah, then I got lured over under false pretenses that I was going to have a lovely time, and I get dumped with her, to make the Butterfly King.
Which was just great. Yeah. It was just great to have EJ there. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's a story that I think interested you as well.
Oh yeah, very, very much. I'd worked a lot in Bulgaria, and I really liked Bulgaria. Bulgaria is my favourite Eastern Bloc country. I really did like it. It is a fascinating place. It really is. You've got these fabulous coastlines. You've got quite unpleasant wine, which has now become actually very pleasant. It is pleasant now. But
is it?
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it wasn't in my.
Okay.
Well, you refused to drink it.
Right. Okay.
It was very dark. You refused.
Yeah, I did.
But it is a bit rough.
An incredible history.
Incredible
which
history.
learned
There's
about.
Plovdiv, their second biggest city. It's got a huge amphitheatre, Roman amphitheatre, which I think was built in 1 AD or something. It's amazing. It's got coastline. It's got mountains. It's a gorgeous country, and it's actually one of the oldest countries in the world. It's got a huge history. It's partly it's sort of squodged between Romania and Greece, and it's got Turkey right down to its south. It's got a brilliant climate. It's brilliant influence.
Yeah.
I really like Bulgaria.
It seems like a secret place. Like before listening to the podcast, I couldn't have named a single thing about Bulgaria, truly. And its involvement in World War II, which I am interested in. It's not like I'm just completely oblivious. So it was very surprising. Bulgaria, of all places.
Right. And then the idea that this, it's a slight spoiler alert, but the point of the entire podcast is the king and what he does during World War II to protect Bulgarian Jews in that country. And the idea that story isn't commonly known globally is shocking to me.
Yeah.
Because it's an unbelievable story.
I think that's what was really intriguing and interesting. It's an amazing story that hardly anyone knows. It's a complex story. And it's also, I think, a story which, people have a dispute over, even now, don't they?
Oh, yeah. The country's still very divided. Those who are royalists and those who are communists, and those who believe that Boris did fantastically well saving the Jewish population, and those who say he could have done a lot more, and those who say his hands were tied. But, the fact remains that while the rest of Europe was seeing its Jewish population, perhaps with the exception of Denmark, absolutely slaughtered by the Nazis, Bulgaria's Jewish population increased during the Second World War.
Wow,
and the king was the head of the state.
Yeah.
And that's, that was the thing that drew me to it. I love history, love Bulgaria, but I didn't know the story of Boris. And he is such an intriguing character.
Everything about it, wasn't it? Isn't it?
He came alive for us.
He really did, didn't he?
Yeah.
And even though, it's highly emotional for people in Bulgaria and for people across the world, his legacy and what actually happened, it's also the fact that he was murdered.
Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and unforgettable moments that make the season so special.
Whether you're planning a weekend getaway, gathering with friends, or simply soaking up every sunny day, Pandora Jewelry offers meaningful pieces designed to celebrate your unique story.
From sun-kissed metals that catch the light beautifully to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra, every detail is crafted to help you express yourself with confidence and style.
Explore charms, bracelets, rings, necklaces, and more, thoughtfully designed to complement every adventure and occasion.
Each design moves with you, from beach days and road trips to rooftop dinners, golden nights, and every memory in between.
Layer your favorite looks, mark life's meaningful moments, and create lasting reminders of a season you'll never want to forget.
Find the pieces that reflect who you are and where this summer takes you.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold.
Goodbye. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace.
Every successful small business starts with someone saying, I wonder if people would actually buy this.
Squarespace gives you everything you need to find out.
From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your skills with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a beautiful, professional online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business.
Get paid on time with professional invoices and online payments. Plus, streamline your workflow with built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing tools.
Head to squarespace.com/murder for a free trial.
And when you're ready to launch, use offer code MURDER to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Goodbye.
Buying clothes is easy. That's why everyone's always doing it.
But finding clothes you actually want to wear is the hard part.
Get all your favorite elevated essentials at Quince.
Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft organic cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored and built to last. And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel-quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples, essentials, and thoughtfully designed furniture.
They work directly with ethical factories, so you're paying for quality quality, not brand markup.
It's so true that they have wonderful items that aren't just clothes. I have like 3 of their 100% mulberry silk pillowcases. I've bought throws from there. I've bought bedding from there. And it is just as great quality as their clothes and super affordable.
Upgrade your everyday.
Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/MFM. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada and the UK too.
QUINCE.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
He was murdered.
He was murdered.
Mysteriously.
It's been pushed under the carpet. You know, this whole story has just been pushed under the carpet. Nobody wanted to talk about it. And that was that. And we did want to talk about it. And we did want to, you know, dig it all up again and, you know, try and find people who could help us discover what really happened and what Boris was really like. Of course, it's 80 years on. So those witnesses are few and far between, except we found 2 corker witnesses.
Yeah, really exciting witnesses who agreed to talk to us for this podcast, which was just amazing.
And his incredible children who are pretty young when he died, but still have beautiful memories of their father, the king. How did you go about tracking down royalty from another country like that? Like what, you just you cold email?
Well, weirdly, I think initially, having found that book, I did definitely think we need the witnesses of the king's son, King Simeon, even though he's a sort of king. He didn't abdicate, but he was in exile when the communists came in. But anyway, we'll call him a sort of king, Simeon. And so it's quite strange. Yes, I found an email address for this person called Yavor, who was his, who said he was a representative of King Simeon. I didn't hear anything for ages. I thought, oh, well, you know, I tried to call and then didn't hear anything. So it was sort of plodding along times before we actually really started on it. And then suddenly just up popped an email saying, yes, I think we can fit in 15 minutes at some point. It was during COVID at that point, so it was put on hold. And then, of course, the negotiations started for, we need a little bit more than 15 minutes. And we need to talk about what happened to his father and all of this stuff. And slowly but surely, we began to realize that it was the children who have this unanswered question, this ache in their heart of what happened to their father.
Yeah, they just want to know. You know, they're very elderly now. They're 90 and 86, and they're desperate to know. You know, he was their dear papa. We're talking about King Boris III of Bulgaria, this person that history has forgotten, but they feel their father's been forgotten. And, you know, they believe he was murdered, and they are desperate to know the truth before they die, you know, and they are... You know, they don't have much time left, and unfortunately, they've only got us to tell the to
try and find out. And also, it's what was also really striking was, you know, you expect, you know, it was quite nerve-wracking, obviously meeting them and everything, but what came out, I think, for both of us was after a few meetings, you know, they really relaxed, and it just the sorrow that anyone would feel of losing a parent is so profound, and they were really open, and we really shared their sadness, wasn't it? It was really heartbreaking.
Definitely, yeah, it was terribly sad, you know.
And the way they talked about him, they sounded so close, and he was an interesting father, and he liked engines and butterflies and having fun with his children, and they were obviously, you know, enjoyed his company when they had a chance to see him. So I think
he told them stories, didn't he, about people who lived under mushrooms.
Yes.
I remember he made up stories. It's just such a nice thing, isn't it?
It's so sweet. First of all, when I would be listening to episodes, it's like you're getting factual historical information, which I always appreciate because I have spotty education at best. And so listening to it and feeling very like, oh, yes, of course, Bulgaria, you know, like getting all that. But then the two of you, like one of my favorite parts, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear anything about the details of this, you know, hit the 15 ahead. But you guys show up to the palace in a cab. The cab driver doesn't really know where the palace is because it's not well known, which I'm like, what? And then you guys get in. And at one point, I think, Becky, you almost knock a vase, or you do knock a vase off of the table. And when I was listening, like, first of all, of course, my heart stopped. But then also I was like, oh my God, they got this on tape. They left it in. They are so good. Like, I was like, this is going to be amazing, because you're doing so many things at once. You're telling this story, teaching us about this amazing and maybe unheard of historical World War II event, and then sharing your own experience as you try to get the story and solve this mystery. Mm-hmm. So great.
That was a funny moment, wasn't it?
That really was.
But, yeah, it was really bad. I was just trying to be friendly, put everyone at ease. And I realised that you weren't meant to touch anything. But then this thing, it just was really kind of interesting shape. And I just couldn't, what was it actually?
I didn't know what it was. Like, you just broke it. Yeah. The great thing was that the king's suave aide, who's so lovely and royal and would never make a fuss about the fact that Becky had actually ruined the palace. He'd actually just said to us, she said, this is, and he explained what it was. I can't remember. And he said, it's practically unbreakable. And then Becky knocked it off and broke it. And he said, well, nearly.
I think the worst thing about that on tape, which I didn't realise I'd said, was, anyway, and just sort of carried on.
Literally swept it under the carpet.
Yeah, you're like, we're going to edit that out.
Yes, exactly.
But there's more important things to talk about than how I'm ruining your front room or whatever.
We did have some funny moments, although they're very serious moments. We also had quite a lot of, it was funny at times with all the people we met. And
actually the royals themselves, laughed a lot with us. We haven't mentioned, we've talked about King Simeon, but Princess Maria Louisa, God, I just want to be her. She is so fantastic. Incredible. And she, at the end of, our interviews, she said she'd had a lovely time. Goodness me, I hope she did. And she's just being very polite. But she did say, do come and see us, didn't she? Yes. She said, come and stay. And then you look very excited. And she said, no, not this Christmas. Yeah.
Yes, I was ready to pack my bags. We could see her flat in, is it New York, in the Bronx
New
or whatever?
Jersey.
New Jersey.
The Bronx.
The Bronx, yeah. It's got that wrong. Anyway, it just looked so lovely. I just thought, I said, can I bring the family? I was like, going to move in. But yes, she suddenly said, not this Christmas. She's got too many people around. But she was really interesting.
Was fantastic.
And, they would call you, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes. I did have a very embarrassing moment with her, actually, because during the summer, she called me, and I partly live in France, and I was in the south of France. It was very, very hot in August, and I was in a bikini, and my phone went, and it was a sort of unknown number. So, who don't know who that is? I said, yes, hello. And she said, oh, hello, this is Maria Louisa. And I thought, what? That sounds like the princess. That can't be the princess. So I said, sorry, who's this? And she said, Her Royal Highness Princess Maria. And so immediately, I sort of got down to my knees in my bikini. I was giving the cat its flea treatment at the time. So the cat's taken on all kinds of airs and graces since then.
Oh, my God. Well, let me ask you this. They both sound amazing in the first episode. You guys seem to actually have this connection. They seem excited about their father finally getting his story told. Were you a little nervous that you might dig up these less than savory stories about him from the people who didn't see him as a hero, and then you'd have to come back and report that to them? That seems like it'd be,
I think they've heard it before,
they have.
haven't they? They know the criticism. They know the criticism, and they're very defensive of their father. But they listened, and our job is to ask really difficult questions, isn't it?
Right.
Absolutely. I think you have to put it straight to them, because that's what you find. And then you have to ask, lots of people don't think your father was a hero, or lots of people think this about your father. Mm-hmm. He was obviously a public figure. They're used to it, and they are public figures. So in some ways, they kind of take it on the chin, and they give as good as they get, really, don't they?
Yeah,
they make their defence. So fair enough.
And I think I came out of it, honestly, thinking from all the people we met, but particularly, obviously, from those that knew him, and the stuff that we read in the archives, personal diaries about meetings with him, etc. I just wish I'd met him.
Yes, I know.
Absolutely fascinating.
He was like a James Bond figure almost.
Total James Bond, yeah.
And the real problem, the real sort of thing is, his position in World War II. So it just leaves, you just can't help but think, oh God, Oh, dear.
His hands were completely tied. He was, it was a catch-22 for him, total catch-22. And, we go into that in a light way of the politics of World War II. But this poor guy, he couldn't do right for doing wrong. He was absolutely in the worst geographical position possible. He had, Romania to his north, and that was, occupied by the Nazis. He had Greece occupied by the Italians. He was absolutely stuck, economically dependent on Germany.
No standing army, right?
No standing army because of the First World. Exactly, because of the First World War. They'd been on the wrong side in the First World War, and the Allies punished Bulgaria terribly. They lost huge swathes of territory. They lost the right to have an army. So they came to the Second World War and no army, nothing. And they wanted to be neutral. What we should say is, one of the great things about Boris is he was a man who detested war. He hated war. He'd seen the Balkans War. He'd seen the First World War, and he'd seen horrific suffering and death. And he was terribly affected by it.
And wanted to be neutral, just wanted to be, not make the same mistake that his father made. Foxy Ferdinand.
Yeah. And he'd said, that's it. That's my promise. When he ascended the throne, he said, that's my promise. I will never, ever see a Bulgarian soldier fight. I will never put a Bulgarian. Yeah.
It is that question of what happens when you simply can't be neutral. You just, that isn't a choice you can make. What do you do? It's not going to be perfect. Whatever you choose, or whatever way you go.
What a diplomat.
Yeah, right. Huge diplomat. I mean, he was treading a very fine line, and, he learnt how to smile on both sides of his face, basically, try and keep everyone happy. But obviously he didn't. Because
he didn't.
No, because he
had a lot of enemies.
Yes, he had a lot of enemies.
We were talking about this show the other day to some people, and we were talking through just some of the attempts on his life, where as you're listening to the podcast, you're just kind of like, is this real? It's happening. And again, he somehow gets out of it. Listening to this story and listening to it unfold, it is just larger than life. It really is kind of like you're saying, a little James Bondy here and there, even though that character seems like not that way at all. He's much more of I like insects and, nature.
It's like Indiana Jones meets James Bond.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I just realized insects. I actually heard insects.
Insects.
Karen's been doing her own
loves
research.
Insects. That was the last thing he was interested in, wasn't it, really?
Gotta hope. That's a different story.
Yeah,
altogether.
we won't go down that road.
That's after hours. Yeah, exactly. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and unforgettable moments that make the season so special.
Whether you're planning a weekend getaway, gathering with friends, or simply soaking up every sunny day, Pandora Jewelry offers meaningful pieces designed to celebrate your unique story.
From sun-kissed metals that catch the light beautifully to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra, every detail is crafted to help you express yourself with confidence and style.
Explore charms, bracelets, rings, necklaces, and more, thoughtfully designed to complement every adventure and occasion.
Each design moves with you, from beach days and road trips to rooftop dinners, golden nights, and every memory in between.
Layer your favorite looks, mark life's meaningful moments, and create lasting reminders of a season you'll never want to forget.
Find the pieces that reflect who you are and where this summer takes you.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold.
Goodbye. The right piece of furniture can completely change your room.
And your life. It's amazing what one good couch can do for morale.
And that's why there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time. There's no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, design, and lasting value.
And with Article's 30-day satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence, knowing that if you're not completely in love with your new furniture, you can easily return
earn it.
I recently needed to replace my old outdoor dining room table and chairs. So, of course, I went straight to Article. They have the Sarik outdoor dining set. I got it in khaki green. It's such a cute, like minty green. It looks so good in my backyard. I can't wait to have alfresco dinners all summer. You know, we can carve pumpkins on it in fall. It's so beautiful. Article knocked it out of the park once again.
Article's offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Goodbye. Summer's for adventures, road trips, and adding a whole lot of miles to your car.
That's why it's worth stopping at Valvoline Instant Oil Change first.
If you need an oil change, make the smart stop at Valvoline Instant Oil Change before you hit the highway.
Their trained techs can help you get road trip ready with an oil change and an 18-point maintenance check included with every oil change, checking your tire pressure, wipers, lights, and more.
That means they're checking important things before you're halfway to your aunt's house with no cell service.
And these aren't just any techs. Valvoline Instant Oil Change techs complete over 270 hours of training, so your car's in capable hands.
The best part, you can stay in your car and you're in and out in about 15 minutes.
So before your next long summer ride, pull into Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Change wisely.
Goodbye. Is there any standout moments from making this podcast that you have that you want to share, good or bad?
Good or bad? Oh, I think some of the people that we met, I would say our snake expert.
And the great thing is that EJ does a great impression of our snake expert.
No, you said you wouldn't make me do the impression of our snake expert. So our snake expert is from Birmingham. So he has that's the Midlands in England, which is quite a thick accent. And he was fantastic, wasn't he? He looked like, if you've seen the Harry Potter films, he looked like Dumbledore from the Harry Potter films. He was fabulous, wasn't he? He was so funny as well.
Brilliant. And such an expert. I mean, the best person we could have talked to.
But he kept bringing you to, you would get very excited. Becky gets very excited doing interviews when she thinks she's sniffed out something. And he would just say to her, "It's not an Agatha Christie, Becky. It's not an Agatha Christie." But he would tell us about, he'd been bitten by snakes many, many, many times, been hospitalized, hadn't he, many, many times. And you said to him, I remember you said, "Oh my God, I can't believe that you've got a mouthful of snake venom." And he said, "Yeah, that wasn't so bad. It was the mouthful of bat urine that was the worst."
It got worse, yeah. But it's absolutely brilliant because he did really bring it to life so well. Sometimes you can get experts and they're quite dry, and and you just kind of think, oh, I can't see my way through the woods with this. But all the people we talked to, of which there were so many experts because there's so many theories, and we had to sort of dig down and try and find out what the symptoms, how he died, what he looked like when he was dying, how long it took. And we just put all this in with the historical facts to try and come to a conclusion about, how he was killed, who murdered him. And it was such a fascinating journey. And to do it together, the standout moments, it sounds crass, maybe, but it's just that we just had such a laugh together. The moment in the taxi, trying to find the palace. Yeah, and no one had heard of it. And it really was like going into this kind of nomad's land. I mean, it looked like there were these crazy, really dogs that looked like they were kind of about to jump on. I was a bit more scared of them than you were, I know. I got really tense about it because I love dogs. I don't know what it was about these dogs, but they were scary everywhere. And it didn't look like we were going towards a palace, and that did make me laugh. And then we were just pushed out the taxi and we had to walk for ages trying to look for this palace.
The entrance to the palace.
Yeah, try and find a doorbell. And it just seems so prosaic, doesn't it, for a palace? You expect a few guards. I think the joy was also meeting Bulgarians. All the Bulgarians we met who were so helpful. It was so interesting to talk to them, especially,
And also there was using the Royal Loo.
Oh, the Royal Loo, yeah.
The Royal Standout movement.
Yeah.
The Royal Lavatory.
EJ went, I think she used the loo in a way that I didn't use the loo.
Oh, no, sorry. Excuse me, Becky. I think we'll row back from that.
Wow. This is after hours.
Breaking.
I mean, there were sort of little sort of things which I thought were the kings, toothbrush, comb and stuff.
I didn't use all of it.
No, okay.
Just use the powder puffs and things.
I thought it was going too far, so we had a bit of a dispute about that, which was quite funny.
It did turn into, it's a historical murder mystery. It did turn into a bit of a hysterical murder mystery.
At times, because, we did really try and go down every avenue to try and find out. And I think we come up with a fairly good idea.
I think so. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are you satisfied with what you have come away with and the answers you've gotten?
I think so, because you all know this, but a lot of podcasts, you listen to sort of 10 hours or 8 hours of a podcast about a murder or, a swindle or something or other. And the concluding episode is something like, oh, well, we'll never find out now. And you think, oh, well, that's 8 hours of my life I'll never get back. But we have come up with a pretty solid, I think, bed of evidence for what we suspect happened.
Yes, I think so. With everything from archives and evidence and all that stuff, I think we've come to the best conclusion we could have done.
Yeah. And the archives, that was a highlight, actually.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that. It sounds very dull, doesn't it? I very much enjoyed the libraries and the archives. I very much enjoyed those.
But it was really good because it's not the sort of thing I necessarily go and do.
No, you were very reluctant.
No, I did enjoy it, but, I knew we had to do it. But, yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Are there any lingering mysteries you wish you still want answers to, or is it maybe good to have some little mysteries at the end?
There's some little mysteries. I tell you one thing that I think which really intrigued me is in the archives, we found these diaries from the former ambassador to the UK and also in Bulgaria and also... what was Lord Lloyd? He was basically from the British Council, wasn't he? He was a spy. He was another James Bond. It was the Second World War. Nobody was telling the truth. Everything was hidden. Everything was in code. But these were their diaries, and they were bitchy, weren't they? They were really bitchy. They were moaning about Bulgarian food and, they don't like this and I don't like this. And that was really fun. But what I really liked is that at the end of having read Lord Rendell, the ambassador's diary, saying that, Boris was treacherous and that he was done this and he was a terrible person. And you also got the sense that he really liked him and hated the fact that things were turning against Boris. And I read his end of mission statement after the war, and he talks about, maybe America, maybe Britain should have done more to help Boris. Maybe we should have done more. And, it's fine to point the finger, but maybe we could have done a little bit more.
And it does feel, it's not something a mystery still left, but it just felt quite relevant to today because we've got so much going on in the world, so much conflict, so many elections everywhere. And there's just feel of pressure, feel of people actually feeling worried, or, extreme emotions going on, that you could almost learn something from this and that you can see that he was in a difficult position and maybe reaching out. I think he wanted people to reach out to him, actually. But Churchill, definitely, the British Prime Minister at the time, turned his back on them, bombed them.
Yeah.
And there was no going back. And it just makes you think, gosh, you can get yourself boxed in. And there's nothing you can do.
It's a good way to put it, actually. He was boxed in. Geographically, he was boxed in. Politically, he was boxed in. Historically, he was boxed in. He was from this treacherous Saxe-Coburg family that, had been on the wrong side in the last war. And who would trust a Saxe-Coburg? That's what the feeling was.
And it does feel like the perilous world. Do you know what I mean now? I really do think about it now and just think, gosh, these things come back and haunt us all over again.
At the end of the day, it is incredible what he actually achieved. And I'm so thrilled that you guys are now telling this story that is not well known, but is an incredible, heroic, mystery in the middle of World War II. It's fascinating.
And his children lived to see it, lived to see that story get told kind of in his light. It's beautiful.
Right.
And I think that's really for them what's important, isn't it? I mean,
Yes,
they were saying,
yeah.
look, you're not going to be able to say it was that man there because that man there's died some time ago, who bumped off the king or whatever. But what they really want is for somebody to tell his story because, as we said at the beginning, everybody's forgotten King Boris III of Bulgaria, and I don't think they should. I think he had an incredible role to play during the Second World War, a very difficult role to play. He played it exceptionally well. And I think for the children, what the story has been told, it sort of exonerates him, doesn't it? It brings him back to life in a way. And it paints a portrait of a man more realistically. He's neither, there is no perfect hero, is there? There are only flawed heroes. We all know that. Well, apart from your husband, obviously. Absolutely. He makes a lovely cup of tea, your husband.
I think it's really about also, we don't make a whole load of judgments ourselves about him, actually. It's the voices in the podcast, we hear their opinions, which are wide and varied. But what it does do is just tell the story. And then people can make up their own minds to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
Because there will be arguments on each side. And then you can listen and think it's an interesting piece of history and make up your own mind.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're really good, really professional journalists.
It's like, you know exactly what you're doing.
We don't have that here a lot on My Favorite Murder. But can I ask you, I'm dying to know who would play King Boris in your minds? Who would be the perfect actor? Obviously has to be a renowned British actor.
Oh, do you know, I was thinking about this the other day.
Edward Fox?
Hugh Bonneville?
Hugh Bonneville? Really?
Yeah, maybe. I did think of somebody else as well.
Are you trying to look up your notes or something?
Yeah, I was, because I actually sent it to somebody.
She's forgotten.
No,
She's
I
looking
just sent it to somebody.
EJ, please get off your phone during this.
Sorry, it's just,
She's
just a little bit bored. No, I did. Rory Kinnear.
Oh,
Rory
Which
Kinnear.
one's he?
See?
Wait, let me look about
The one who was just in Bank of Dave?
yes, he was.
Yes.
He was in Bank of Dave.
Bank of Dave
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the Diplomat.
yes, him.
And the Diplomat.
He is a great character actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was
Yeah.
in Sherlock. No, he's in James Bond, isn't he? I
I
think.
think he is, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
I
Yes,
just
yeah.
watched that
Oh, I
one.
totally see it, for sure.
Yes.
He's been in a million things, but yeah.
He'd have to shave his hair off because obviously Boris was. Well, yeah.
A little mustache.
Get a hold of Exactly Right Media, if you're Rory's representatives. I love it.
You've moved on to new projects. Is there anything exciting? Is there any secret, exciting locations that you can tell us about, or anything about what you're working on now?
We can tell you that we're both knackered. Because she's just come back from.
I've just come back from Australia, Melbourne.
Oh, it's a long flight.
And I've just come back from Tamil Nadu in India.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were told we're not allowed to say anything else, which
No,
is a bit
we're
boring.
not.
But they're sort
Love
of,
it.
I'd love to tell you everything about it because it was really interesting.
Yeah,
we both,
they were unbelievable projects.
both of them are pretty crazy.
Intrigue.
Sort of slightly mystery, adventure, thrillery type things. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to come back and tell us once the green light is for you guys to talk. We have to hear all about it.
We would
We'd
love
to do
but
that.
there are no royals in mine. No.
Have I got any royals?
I don't think you hang around a lot with royals, don't
All the
you?
time. No, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to think. I can't even think who's in them now. You know, when your brain leaves
Yes,
one
you
project,
just shut
you're in
that
another.
door.
I'm just thinking of the king. Yes, exactly. I can remember nothing about it.
Well, you guys, it's so lovely to meet you in person because we have been meeting with Rosie from Blanchard House for a while now. And the idea that we get to work with what feels like our British equivalent of Exactly Right, which is Blanchard House Media, is so nice. And it's just truly been a dream working with you on this project. It's so cool. And we're honored to be a part of the Blanchard House family, and we're thrilled that you guys are here in the Exactly Right family. So thank you for all your hard work and everything.
Oh, well,
Well, it's
thank you. We're just
fantastic for
honoured
us. Same as. Yeah.
to be part of the ERM family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate it.
We can't wait for everyone, all the Murderinos, to hear this incredible story. And you are both such great storytellers. It's thrilling. So episodes 1 and 2 of The Butterfly King premiere on Thursday, March 21st. New episodes every Thursday. Please, please, please follow, rate, review, subscribe. It's so helpful and needed for podcasts.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we'll just wrap up in front of 2 experienced BBC reporters like it's no big deal. Stay sexy.
And don't get murdered.
Goodbye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Our senior producer is Alejandra Keck.
Our managing producer is Hannah Kyle Creighton.
Our editor is Aristotle Acevedo.
This episode was mixed by Liana Squillace.
Our researchers are Maren McClashin and Allie Elkin.
Email your hometowns to myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
Follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at My Favorite Murder and Twitter at MyFaveMurder. Goodbye.
Calling all amateur detectives and podcast obsessives.
Virgin Voyage's second true crime voyage sets sail March 20th, 2027 for a 5-night escape to Grand Turk and the Beach Club at Bimini.
As part of the On Air at Sea collection, this immersive sailing brings together fan favorite podcasts, including Disgraceland, Buried Bones, and Wisecrack, for live recordings, behind-the-scenes access, exclusive meet and greets, and crime-themed programming that you won't find anywhere else.
All aboard our award-winning, kid-free ships.
Head over to virginvoyages.com/truecrime to secure your spot.
Goodbye.
Let me ask you something. You want your car to last longer, run smoother, perform better. I'm talking about your engine. I've got something good for you. Seafoam Motor Treatment. Seafoam helps your engine run smoother and last longer. It's easy to use. Just pour it in your gas tank. That's it. It works while you drive. No extra steps, no tools needed. If your car's been acting up, rough idle, no power, burning through gas, it might be time. Seafoam is an easy first step to help bring that performance back. And this isn't something new. Seafoam has been trusted by mechanics for over 75 years, and why millions of people use it every day to keep their engines running strong. Pick up a can of Seafoam today at your favorite auto parts store and keep moving forward with confidence. Seafoam, pour it in and power on.
The 2026 RAV4 Limited with a panoramic moonroof. Toyota RAV4 is not responsible for the new exotic hairstyle you end up with if you get used to driving the RAV4 Limited with the panoramic moonroof and windows open. We recommend bringing hairspray if you want to keep the look. The 2026 RAV4 is serious fun.